Today we got a discard deck, which I've been mucking around with for the last few hours. It's been an awesome deck that's been not only super fun to play, but also pretty consistent and good cube win rate for us. So stick around and check it out. Hey, Milky here, back again with another one. Today we're jumping in with a brand new discard deck that I've kind of just put together. I was playing around with discard. It's an archetype that I really enjoy playing. I've been playing around with different cards that I have access to, and I've put a deck together which is a tempo. I'm calling it a tempo discard deck. It's something that does well throughout the early game. It's got some key combos which work well in the mid game, and then you kind of round out the end game with some strong late turns. For us, it's been really consistent and enjoyable, and something that's, it is quite difficult to counter because of the strong early game, but also the mid game as well. So let's jump in and check out the deck and take a look at the specific cards I've decided to include. All right, so this is it. This is our tempo discard deck. First of all, we've got some key cards in the deck like Sunspot and Nightcrawler. These are just to round out your early game, give you a couple of options in the early turns which you can benefit from. It's just really to get power out on the board and potentially start to move some cards around the board and just have some options on the board early in the game. Next up, we have Lady Sif. And this deck is called Tempo Discard, but it just only has a very small discard package within it, which I think actually complements this style of the deck quite well. Lady Sif is really key in this deck because you're looking to discard something big and then bring it back with Ghost Rider later on, so she's really important to do that. There's also a bit of a solid power push on the board as well. We then also have Thor in the deck, and Thor's in here as a big power push in himself and a threat on the board, but his Mjolnir, because it costs 0 in the deck, it's not going to mess around with your strong guy or those kind of things. You can potentially play it out all on the final turn if you do draw into it. So it's a little bit of something that brings a lot of power to the deck, but doesn't actually mess with the key mechanics of the deck as well. We've then also got Swordmaster in the deck. Solid push of power, discards a card, works well. I think he's just in there mainly as a stat stick, but also being able to discard something. We've then also got Dracula in the deck, and he's in the deck to make the most of your top end. We've got some bigger cards in the deck, and hopefully you can target one of those with Dracula at the end of the game. He's also a point of just, your opponent has to play around him. It's something that they have to think about. They have to be aware that Dracula's on the board, that his ability will go off at the end of the game. So it's just something that they're going to have to specifically play around. The other cool thing about Dracula is he's a 4-drop, so for the most part, you're often going to be getting him out earlier than those leeches are going to be able to come down. We then have the other superstar of the deck, which is Ghost Rider, and I love playing Ghost Rider. I don't play him enough, but he's in the deck to bring back one of the big cards that Lady Sif is going to discard. If you can play a Lady Sif on turn 3, Ghost Rider on 4, you can often go ways to winning that location, barring Shang-Chi and other craziness that the opponent might have. But that 2-card combo of Lady Sif into Ghost Rider can do really, really well in this deck. We then also have Strong Guy in this deck, and the great thing about Strong Guy is he has the potential to represent a lot of power at the end of the game. He's not going to be able to be Shang-Chi'd because pretty much you're always going to have a card in hand throughout the game. So he's going to be safe from Shang-Chi plays. He's going to be susceptible to, rogues and enchantresses, but that's okay. We deal with that. But Strong Guy, he has the potential to represent up to 10 power on the board, which can be great and game swinging in the final turns of the game. All right, going into our top end, we've got Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom is a great way to spread and reach locations which are unreachable. Really like having Dr. Doom in the deck. I think he does great. Even if you're bringing him back with something like Ghost Rider, he works well in that sense as well. We also have America Chavez. Chavez is in there to shore up our early game, make sure our draw is a little bit more consistent. I also just got this variant, wanted to try it out, but she's a great card just to make your consistent draws to do well, and potentially even something for you to discard with Dracula at the end of the game. Magneto's also here. Big 12 power body. Great disruption on your opponent's board. Love Magneto. I think he does well in this deck as well. Finally, we have Infinite in the deck. Massive power. Bringing him back with Ghost Rider always feels good. Potentially, if you can play around the locations and avoiding your opponent's Shang-Chi if they've got it, he just goes a long way to winning you that location all by himself. So I love the combo there. As I was playing with this deck, it was very consistent, as I said, and something that actually did really well for us. The one tweak that I might make with this deck would actually be to sub out Nightcrawler in place of bringing in Blade. I think there was a few occasions where we potentially could have got a full power, a 10 power Strong Guy, and we didn't quite have that one extra card to discard at the end of the game. I think having Blade in those instances could do quite well. Even with the Dracula discarding a card at the end of the game, it felt like this deck was maybe just one card short of a discard. So I think either if you're going to sub out Nightcrawler, Blade or Colleen Wing could be a great option in that case. All right, so that's it for our tempo discard deck. Again, we had a ton of fun playing this one. I really enjoy discard style decks, and this one just worked really well. I think we're kind of onto something here with this style of deck, and maybe there's some cards that you can sub in and sub out, but for the most part, this deck did really well for us, and we really enjoyed playing it. All right, let's jump in and take a look at some of the gameplay we've got with this deck. As always, we're playing at infinite rank against pool 3 full collections. So take a look. Game 1, jumping into Space Throne straight off the bat. So we have a play line with Space Throne, I think. We'll just have to see. We got our biggest card in hand, which is, look, it's not ideal, but do we want to Sunspot here? I mean, we are skipping. I mean, we're probably not skipping from here on out, are we? Unless we skip turn 5. So let's go ahead and drop Sunspot here. We might just need to think about our turn 5 for sure. Okay, so I think this strong guy play line is going to be out because I just don't see us being able to discard as much. We could potentially just go get out Infinite now, which is probably pretty good. Let's go ahead and get Infinite out now. He might have a Shang-Chi, but I mean, if he does, he does. It is what it is, right? Oh, cool. He's playing an Agatha deck. That's pretty awesome. So he might be able to bring back with Ghost Rider now. Let's go ahead and do our playline with Ghost Rider. Just have to see. We also have Magneto for the Space Throne, which I don't mind. Okay, so he's got a rescue. Interesting. So he might have a Shang-Chi in this deck. I don't know. We're not going to be discarding enough to get the value out of Strong Guy here. So I think we Thor and... We could either Vision or we can Thor and Nightcrawler. We can do this in case of a potential Hobgoblin this turn. I don't mind it. I don't mind this. Let's do this. Yeah, okay, he wasn't a Hobgoblin. He was trying to get the value out of Rescue anyways. This could be a Shang-Chi. So it's a Vision. Interesting. So we'll have to play around that Vision. We might pull something, we might not. But I think this is going to be the best play line we're going to have. Putting it into Necrotia does nothing for us with the Nightcrawler. I think anything else is just subpar. And if he doesn't play anything, I guess then we move either the Rescue or we move Lady Sif anyways. This is a decent line of play, I guess. Alright, we get the retreat anyways. We had some strong turns lining up, and like the Ghost Rider into Infinite is just super, super solid. So yeah, nice win. Monster Island first up. We have the Ghost Rider in hand, Ghost Rider, Infinite, Magneto. Would love to get a Lady Sif maybe, if we can get the combo going. Dark Dimension. Okay, so we do get the Lady Sif straight off the top, which is nice. We probably don't want to double down on a Shang-Chi target, so we'll do this, and then we'll do whatever Ghost Rider pulls, and we'll go from there. We got two cards in the middle, a 2-drop and a Magneto, so two 2-drops. So I think we just go ahead and get the Ghost Rider down. We'll bring back Magneto straight away, which is cool. Oh, so he actually fires off the Shang-Chi over there. So Good call on us not doubling down on it. I think that was definitely the move. So I think let's get out Dracula. Can do... Well, we can do these two next turn. Dracula will discard something. So I think that's pointless. Right, let's do this. Okay, so it's like we always run out of discarding with these cards. Like we just don't have quite enough. I think maybe the Nightcrawler needs to be a blade. Just to definitely secure the fact that we're going to be discarding. Arrow. Okay, so we got a full location. Doesn't matter. So he had a Bucky combo middle. That's fine. We win. We win with Dracula here. Would we? Yeah, we would have won anyways, even if it discarded Chavez. So yeah, nice game. Definitely nice game. It was nice to high roll on the Dracula as well. But we didn't absolutely need it. We would have got 17 here anyways. But I think we do... Like, some games we get the strong guy off. Some games it's like we need Blade. Got Monster Island straight up. I think clearing hand space is always good here. So let's go ahead and... Let's do Nightcrawler over here. Just in case we need to. We've got Lady Sif in hand. No... Sorry, no big cards. And also no... And also no Ghost Rider, so looks like one of the other play lines might be the go. I think Thor. Thor's probably pretty safe here. Probably Thor into Sinister Londons. That's always a good play line, I think. See how our hand shapes up after that. Bucky Barnes, okay. Okay, so we'll go Thor. We can have a heck of a lot of discarding here, so if we want, we can also do the strong guy next turn. Oh, that's a rough one for him. Oh gosh, poor guy. Okay, so we might get the retreat here after that, but we could do Dracula. We could also do Strong Guy. There'll be double discard at the end of the game. We could also just do both. So we do Dracula, Strong Guy. I think Dracula, Strong Guy. Either order is fine. Neither of these are going to be on reveal, so they're going to be fine here. He could wave this turn, which makes me want to do this. We also block off this location. I think let's do this one. We'll see where this lands. He could wave this turn, which is a little cheeky. So you can't Shang-Chi left. Can't Shang-Chi middle. Feeling like we're in a pretty solid spot with this one. Hobgoblin here was punishing for him from X-Mansion. He's weighing up what he plays middle. He might have a Destroyer. Could have Infinite, actually. Okay, so I think we need to... Yeah. It was always going to be a tough one for him. All right, this deck has been surprisingly consistent actually for us. It's done really, really well. Even in the current state of the game, which is kind of crazy, but I guess we've been drawing relatively well too, but nothing crazy, I wouldn't say. If we can get a Lady Sif anytime soon, we're in some serious money here. Lady Sif off the top would be huge. No Lady Sif, so we can YOLO it, and then we bring back whatever we want, or whatever it is. It's a little bit of a... Could be a little bit of a head-scratcher play. So we could do... Swordmaster. Just hope we don't discard Ghost Rider. 1 in 5. The other playline is just Thor, which is just a good playline. But we're in for the discard. I'm going for it. Alright, so we've got a massive Killmonger coming in here, most likely. We discard the strong guy. So I don't think we're going to be discarding enough to get super amounts of value out of him. But it is something that we can potentially use as a little bit of a threat here. See how we go with this. A Killmonger, yep, as we suspected. Okay, so we have to play kind of like we've wrapped up the left lane, just because. So Thor, we bring back. We might. Yeah, again, I'm coming back to the Colleen Wing or the Blade. I think we might need either of those in this deck. I mean... So, Mjolnir off the top is kind of what we need here. Get it. So he's probably gonna play... He's probably going to play... probably going to play Deathlock mid. So Deathlock takes him to 15. We come up over the top of 15 if he doesn't play a card here. He might also like Arrow or something. Yeah, I knew it. So we are going to win over the top here. And yeah, we end up... Oh, wait. Pulling those two. Yeah, okay. So we still do win with the pull. Even without the Dracula. Dracula's just a nice little piece on top. But we do win anyways. Magneto is a nice little shift there at the end. Tempo discard. We had a lot of fun with this deck, I can tell you. Definitely, if you are going to play it, try to tweak out some cards if you're interested in more of the discard style of deck. As I said before, Blade and Colleen Wing could be great options for Nightcrawler. But for the most part, really enjoyed playing this deck, and we found a lot of success with it as well. Let me know in the comments what kind of discard decks that you're playing around with, or any deck that you're finding successful. Would love to hear from you for sure. Also, subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. It really does help us out. All right, I'm going to take off for now, and until the next one, I'll see you then.